Good evening from New York. I am Selwyn Collins, your host of CWS. My guest tonight is this lovely young lady next to me. Her name is Sapphire Rose. Sapphire, good evening and welcome to CWS.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good.
I heard you had a middle school exam or state exam, right? How was it?
So far, pretty good.
So far, so good. Have you been doing a lot of studying?
Yes.
Yeah. And so, which one of the subjects you like the most?
Math.
Math. Why?
Because I find it a little easier,
Uh-huh.
but also a little more challenging.
A little more challenging. You like challenges? Yeah. Is that why you decide to get into designs? What would you say if somebody asked you is challenging about designs?
Mm. What I find challenging is getting them exactly the way you want them and not messing up on them.
Hmm. Try not to shake because it gives the audience a little bit of a dizziness, right? All right. So okay, when how should I say this? When people ask you, say, Sophia, describe yourself. What do you usually tell them about you?
I would say I am artistic
Mhm.
and I like to try new things.
You like to
Try new things.
try new things. I heard you started at 5 years old. What was the first thing you created?
I created a wrap skirt for one of my Barbie dolls using one of my mom's scraps.
Oh man, everybody knows, or everybody who knows your mom knows she's a phenomenal designer, and she does great work. So before you designed this wrap skirt, did you spend a lot of time watching mom work? How did you think you learned so many things? What happened?
I spent most of my life watching my mom and dad
Mhm.
design clothing and costumes, and which inspired me to become a fashion designer when I grew up.
So take us back to that time when you designed this wrap skirt. How did it come about? What were you doing? Why did you decide to design a wrap skirt?
Because I easily lost my doll's clothes, so I made clothes out of my mom's scraps after she was done designing a dress, so that my doll would have clothes to wear instead of without no clothes.
Mm. So, so this wrap skirt. Do you remember when it first came out? When you first finished it? What was what did you say when you were finished?
Mm, I don't remember exactly, but I do remember showing my mom after I was done.
And what was your mom's reaction?
She was fascinated and proud of my design.
Wow. So you have a baby brother and a little sister, a younger sister. What were their reaction?
My brother was still a baby and my sister was about like 3 or 4 years old.
Mm. So now that you're designing, he's much older. I think he's 5 years old now,
Yes.
right? So he's where you were when you started. What does he say, or how does he react, or your sister react when you design something?
My sister, she likes to try and help with me as I design clothes
Mhm.
for her dolls. And my brother, he enjoys watching and tries doing it sometimes too.
Really? Do they ever get in your way?
No,
No? Do they listen to you as a big
sometimes.
sister?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Who's the most troublesome?
My brother.
Your bro- So, when you're not doing schoolwork, what do you like to do?
I like to draw and sketch clothes, and and when I have the time, sometimes I would like to start stitching them and sewing.
Stitching them. Okay. Help me with this. You stitch how? The sewing machine?
I use sewing machine and needles with my hands.
You use needles. Mm-hmm. So, when did you become comfortable in the sewing machine?
When on my 6th birthday, my aunt got me a sewing machine for my birthday.
So, what was that like? Here you are, it's your 6th birthday, you like to design, you like to sew things, and you get this sewing machine. Do you remember how you felt? Your reaction?
I felt very happy and excited to use it.
Ah. So, if you had to say, if you had to tell us about the people who influenced you in designing, who would you say fall into that list?
My mom, one of my godfathers, and my dad.
And your dad? But I happen to know your godfather. I interviewed him before. Roger Gary? So he and your dad, all right? Your dad passed away the other day. Can I speak about him? Can I ask you about him? Okay. These are two men who are in designs, and they're very. Your dad is very good, and Uncle Roger, your godfather Roger, is very good. What would you say to young boys who want to get into design, knowing what you know about your dad and Uncle Roger?
Um, you shouldn't think that designing isn't only for girls, and that you should follow your dreams and not give up on what you think you want to do.
I like that. So how old are you today? 9, right?
Yes.
Do you have a lot of friends? And when you get together with your friends and you're talking about different things, is design usually a topic of conversation?
Mostly, sometimes we talk about art,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes I would talk about my company to them.
Your company. We'll get to that just now because I am fascinated. You're 9 years old, came in here all quiet because of the exams and so on, and the camera goes on, and you've transformed to this wonderful, professional-looking, and I gotta remember, 9 years old. Where do you think you got this kind of courage from?
I think I got it from my mom
Mm-hmm.
because she always designs while finding time to teach me.
He teaches you. Do you remember, or give us an idea of one of her instructions then?
She said when sewing that I should always focus on where my hands are going, and so that I could sew a straight line instead of something that's I'm not supposed to.
So let's pretend I am one of your friends, right? Your young friends. And mom is not around to hear what you're saying about her. Describe for me what a day is like with her when you're sewing and she's around.
I feel relaxed, and I would feel comfortable being around her and showing her what I've improved on in sewing.
So if I were to ask you, I know mom is here, but this is you and me, all right? If I were to ask you, what are some things you like about the way about what mom does? What are some things you like?
I like that she's creative and she doesn't make the same things over, and she's able to think of new ideas and she's able to do them all.
Your mom does not make the same thing twice. That's a lot of creativity. You want to be like that?
Yes.
So, I read somewhere that your mom had some kind of an order for dolls' clothes or something like that, and you decided to help out.
Yeah.
Take us back there. What was that like?
it was fun to design doll clothes with my mom, and I had fun thinking of some of the ideas of what I could make for the doll that was assigned for clothes.
So, what is one of the what is your best design so far? Which piece of design you just absolutely love?
Mm, I don't necessarily have a favorite because I like all of my designs.
You know what? Oh, we're gonna have fun here tonight. You walk in here all shy looking and quiet. The camera turns on, and then you're gonna surprise me. So this is how we're gonna do it, right? Okay, cool. Okay. So in the chat room, Charmin said, "This is beautiful, and she's so articulate and courageous." And Charmin asks again, "Where does she get her inspiration to create her designs?"
I get my inspiration from my family, like my mom, dad, and my godfather.
Your godfather. Okay, you've told me about your mom and the things she tells you or how she advises you when you're sewing. Tell us about your godfather. When he's around, what goes on?
Sometimes he would talk about how I'm doing in my sketches, and he would help me by sending me pictures and videos on how to improve on my sketching.
He sends you pictures and videos on how to improve on your stitching. Okay, here is Sapphire Rose, and you have access to experienced people. Not only they're experienced, they love you. If you were talking to or advising some young children, your young friends, how important do you think it is for them to have that kind of support around them? How important is that?
I think it's very important to have support so that you know that you're gonna be able to do what you want to do, and that other people are supporting you along the way.
Do you remember, or okay, let me ask you this way. You have friends. Are your friends supportive?
Um, they are, because sometimes they would ask if I could make something for them, but
Wait. They ask if you can make something for them?
Mhm.
What are the kinds of things you make for them?
I don't make anything for a lot of people so far.
Hmm.
Just like I'm so far only working on dolls to just improve.
So you are using your dolls as your, well, in adult lives speak, I'm not trying to talk down to you, but we say the guinea pigs. That's where you practice then. That's where you do all your rehearsals. For the past 4 years, since you made that wrap skirt, would you say you've improved a lot?
Yes, because I'm able to make shirts for my dolls and dresses, and not just wrap skirts, but more skirts that my mom has taught me to make.
Who is the harshest critic, or who is more strict? Godfather Roger or mom?
Mm, I'm not really sure because neither of them are very that strict.
Hmm. So they give you guidance and lots of support.
Yes, they do.
And you don't have a favorite thing that you have sewn so far.
Mm,
What do you like to sew?
I like to sew skirts and small shirts for my dolls, and sometimes I would try making dresses out of those shirts and skirts.
All right. I mean, my mom was a seamstress. Some of my sisters sew. I know a little bit about sewing. But if you decide that you're going to make a shirt, take us through some of the steps. What happens next after you make that decision?
I would measure exactly how wide and how tall my dolls are, so that I can make sure that the shirt isn't too big or too small.
You measure the doll.
Mhm.
What happens when you make mistakes?
I would try again until I'm able to make the perfect shirt that will fit exactly the same as the ones that come with the doll.
So you're just making it for your doll. It is not going out there for anybody to wear. Um, Yet you will keep trying until it is perfect or to your satisfaction. Why? Why do you think that is?
So that when I get older and start working on designs for people, I am able to make clothes to their satisfaction instead of just mine.
Do you remember the best compliment you've gotten so far? Or, well, one of the nice compliments you've gotten so far? What are certain things people say to you?
That I am a very artistic and young girl.
So you really like this thing? If you were not designing, what else would you want to do? I know this is a sort of a tough question for a 9-year-old, but well, listening to you, not so tough. So tell me, what else would you want to do if you were not designing?
Maybe I would want to be a teacher so that I could help other children be able to grow to be something amazing.
Why do you think you like helping children? Where does that come from?
I'm not really sure where
You're
it
not
comes
sure?
from.
Yeah.
I just like helping people.
So, do you ever have like you and a group of girls just sit down and talking about life and talking about what you want to do? Do you ever have that?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah. So here you are, the oldest sister, right, of three. You have your little brother, and you have your middle sister. So describe a day when you are trying to cut your fabric and you're designing and they're around. What happens? Does he disturb you? Does she disturb you? How does that work out?
They wouldn't disturb me. Instead, they would sometimes just watch me, or my sister would sometimes try to join in and make clothes for her own dolls.
Oh, that is incredible. And so if he is bothering you or he is around and you want to tell him to stop or you tell him to stop, will he listen to you?
Rarely.
Sometimes they lock him out of the room.
Really? He gets locked out. So people, you've seen your mother's designs. I've seen it. It's phenomenal stuff. And people making wonderful comments about your mom. How does that make you feel knowing that your mom is such a phenomenal designer?
I feel that I can trust her as a teacher, and that she is very, very experienced, so that she could teach me all that she knows, so that I could be better.
You can trust her as a teacher. Why is that so important for not just you, but for other young people who are getting into any particular profession and they want to learn from someone? Why is that trust so important?
It's important because you need to know that your teacher is a professional and they know exactly what they're doing, so that they can teach you all that they know, so that you could be just like them.
I know Charmin asked you what where you got your inspiration from. Walk us through an inspiration or an inspiring moment. You're sitting, you're lying, you're playing, whatever, and something comes to you. How does it happen?
Um, there's a time when I was making a skirt, and when I was done, I showed my mom. She was proud of me, and then she showed me a better way of making skirts so that it looks like how she makes them.
Really?
Which really helped me start designing more clothes for my dolls.
And you remember these tips that mom gave you? You do?
Hmm?
So, when you go to her and you say, Mom, I have a new design, Do you go to her with the design first, or do you try and sew it and make this skirt or the clothing first? How does that work?
I would make the clothing first and then show her what I created.
When she's really surprised, this is between the two of us, right? When she's really surprised, how does she behave?
She she would hug me, and she would say things that will make me happy about my design.
And how does that make you feel as a young designer, as this little girl, pursuing her passion? How does that make you feel when mom congratulates you?
It makes me feel like when I get older, I'll be able to make things for other people other than just my dolls, so that I can make money, and I can be a good person.
Hmm. Are you eager to get started, to branch out from the practice period? Really? What do you think your first design will be? What do you think? What would you like to make first?
First, I hope to start out with maybe just a skirt, because I've already made a skirt for myself, and so far I'm satisfied with what I made.
You made a skirt for yourself, and it passed mom's muster, passed her inspection, and you love it.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to make a skirt?
Mm, Not too long, but it would take some time to make sure that it doesn't mess up, and that it will be able to fit right, and it will look able be able to wear in public.
So, the finish. Tell us about the finish. Is that important to you?
The finish of the skirt was important because it showed me that I'm able to make incredible designs, which showed me that I'll be able to make more designs throughout my life as I grow up.
Sapphire, I have to say this to you. You really pulled one on me tonight. I was a little nervous, that you might be a little too shy. I wasn't quite sure. You walked in here looking all shy and I'm quiet and I don't know what he's going to ask me. And now you're sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, what can I really ask her? Are you enjoying yourself so far? Really? Let's take a break.